peace, power, and prosperity. Tariq Scott, Heavyweights Branding, and this is week 2 of the Heavyweights Consulting Program, and we're focusing on this week branding, in particular in this module, the brand statement. The importance of business is to create a customer. I don't care what business you're in, whether it's music, whether it's selling t-shirts, whatever. You want to create a customer or identify your customer. And if that's not what you're trying to do, then you're not in business. You just have a hobby, something you like to do in which you don't really care if anyone responds to it or not. And that's fine. But we know because you're here and you're part of the consulting program with Heavyweights that you would like to form a relationship with your customer. So again, the brand statement is so important because what it does is it helps identify what your company and your brand is about and how it best serves your customer. So we want you to stop creating in a vacuum, particularly for those of you guys that are artists, creative people, musicians. This applies to you particularly, where you just create in a vacuum, but you don't understand what your brand needs that it serves. So what needs do you serve to your customer? What's the benefit? Because as soon as you understand that, you can hone in on that and best serve your customer. A lot of times artists want to be diverse and universal, and truly no brand is universal. They just do one thing great that a lot of people like. So remember that. Being universal, being everything for everybody is confusing. When you think about your favorite brand, product, or whatever, the reason why you purchase it and you support it is because you know exactly what you're going to get. Being universal means that at any point in time you can get anything, and people don't like that. People want to know what they're going to get. So you need to understand what benefit it is that your customer receives from your brand. You need to be able to communicate that even to people who are not aware of your brand, because that's how you make new customers. So I'm going to go through these questions just so we can be on the same page with the questions. So the first question basically is asking you to list words that identify who your customer is. So we want to get beyond the traditional way that people use the demographics, because traditionally with marketing, people may say, okay, sex, age, location, and all those things are important, and they're important. Once you start to get fans, you start to qualify who they are. But as you are trying to attract fans, which most people who are watching is, you're trying to attract fans because you're at the bottom of the pyramid as far as the fan pyramid, and identifying who your people are and approaching them. So what you want to do is start to describe who they are from an internal point of view. So in the question, as you see on the questionnaire, Harley Davidson is used as an example. We use that as an example because it's a brand that everybody recognizes. So when someone thinks about the Harley Davidsons, what their customer looks like, they think about the weekend warrior, the rebel. Harley Davidson people are everywhere from corporate people all the way to street people that love the motorcycle. But when they all come together and get on their bike, they're one. So the weekend warrior might be the person who works the 9-to-5 suit and tie, but then when they are engaging in the Harley Davidson brand, they transform into the weekend warrior. So that's a descriptive word for who messes with and who deals with and who engages with Harley Davidson. So it's those kind of words that you want to start thinking about who your fans are. You know what I'm saying? Who likes your brand? So when you answer that question, you want to approach it from that perspective. We don't want demographic answers. We want descriptive words describing who you feel the people are and what they represent from an inner side that engage in your brand. And if you don't know, ask people that like you, or think about those people that like your brand and what you do. Think about who they are and what they like universally. And when I say universally, I mean outside of just your brand. Okay. The second question is basically dealing with what do they get from your business from an outside perspective. So from an outside perspective, if we were to take let's use an artist for an example, Kanye West. How does someone perceive your business from the outside? So from the outside looking in, Kanye West is, I would describe him as someone who is very materialistic. He's high fashion. Even sometimes people may say wears questionable fashion. He just says whatever's on his mind. That's the outside look. So you can say, Gucci, Versace, whatever the brands that he wears, you could talk about that. Outspoken. That's on the outside looking in, and that's how someone would describe his brand on the outside looking in. So how would somebody describe your brand on the outside looking in? Meaning they don't know you, without knowing you, without necessarily having a lot of time spent. Just on the first look, what does your brand look like? That's the second question. The third question is more or less dealing with what does your brand look like once people get to know you. So what's the inner value? So once people actually have time to be associated and engage with your brand, what would they get from it? What would they see? So that's a deeper meaning. So you want to describe those words to describe your brand from a deeper meaning. The fourth question, and pretty much probably the most important question, is what benefit do people get from your brand? What benefit? I'll take again dealing with music, because I know most of our clients deal with music. I would say, like, if you take a artist like Gucci Mane, like somebody like, what does the customer benefit from Gucci Mane? Well, Gucci Mane makes music, in my opinion, for people to release to. So people can dance to it. People can indulge in, substances to it. It's a release. It's a music that's a form of a release, and he speaks about that in his song. So, I would say whether a person is just listening to the music and dancing or vibing and releasing their energy or whatever's going on with them with the music, or they're doing things in association with the music, that's the benefit. He knows it. And so when you hear his music, he continuously delivers on that vibe. So you want to know what benefit does your customer get from what you do, because that in itself creates the customer, the repeat customer, because everyone wants to have the question answered, what's in it for me? When you can answer what's in it for them, then you have answered the golden question, and you have created a customer. So those are the basics of it. If you have more questions, you can definitely add them to the discussion, but I just want to have a little conversation, because I know you got to read the words, and the words sometimes don't infuse any passion or energy, and just break it down a little bit. So this is a very powerful worksheet right here, and when you finish, what I'm going to do with the words that you pick is we're going to create a brand statement. It's going to be a sentence in which you will be able to use to, one, always remind yourself what your brand is about, and two, when you're out and you're engaging people, it's a statement that you can say verbatim or you can remix. It's that opening statement that will allow you to network and become a powerful network off of one sentence, because the four things that you're doing in that one sentence, you can break down and talk to someone and describe your business, describe it to another business person, describe it to a customer, and attract more business. Alright, so no more talking, time to work, and look forward to seeing your responses on this brand statement worksheet. Peace.